I gotta say it's great to talk to you again. We talked about
Mhm.
head count a couple of years back. Now we're talking about
Mhm.
witch hunt. I liked it. It reminded me of a combination of films. I thought of The Craft. I thought of Harry Potter in terms of how Draco Malfoy treated mudbloods and
Yeah,
The Handmaid's Tale. Overall, it's a pretty good movie. I liked it.
great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's my job as a director.
So my first question is, how did this project come about?
I always wanted to tell a story about witches, and I started doing a lot of research into their actual nitty-gritty history, and was pretty shocked to learn at how normal accusing someone of being a witch was like 300 years ago, especially in Europe. Like, I mean, we learned about the Salem witch trials, but it's kind of painted in this light that it was this little blip that everyone was kind of crazy for a little period of time. But no, I mean, witches were seen as real, and you could accuse your neighbor of being one, and then there'd be an actual witch hunter that would come and do a trial, and it was seen as like fact, and it was just kind of blew me away. So I kind of took all that and just plopped it into modern day, and then the story kind of came together from there, and it just felt like a story that I wanted to tell. And yeah.
Yeah, and I find it interesting considering what we're dealing with today in terms of like racism and
Mhm.
those type of issues. It's like it feels like it's no different than that. But I like the fact that you're using witches like this history, this historical fact that up to the modern day, and I think that's what made it more fascinating. I'd rather because we've seen a lot of films about racial injustice. We've seen lots of films, so to see that in a modern day film about the witch trials, I think it brings something fresh and new to the whole genre.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to focus on, the idea of being an other, and whether that other is, your gender, your race, your sexuality, like um, I tried to represent that through magic in this case. So hopefully my audience will take away something from it, that we all need to be more accepting of everyone.
I totally agree. And the cast was great in this. I mean, Gideon, Elizabeth Mitchell. Um, I mean, they were just wonderful. What was it like working with them?
It was a breeze. It was so fun. I mean, they brought so much to their characters, and went really above and beyond. And it was definitely a labor of love for all of them. Gideon did such a great job as a protagonist. It's really hard to, be on screen for that much of a film and have the entire plot kind of riding on your character's arc. But she nailed it. And Elizabeth is such a strong and calming presence, especially on set. I learned a lot from her. And I'd work with them again in a heartbeat.
That's amazing. What would you say was the most difficult thing about the production, if anything?
I think, I mean, we had a lot of stunts.
Yeah.
And stunts take time because you have to
Yes.
be very safe and careful with them. And with, a film of this size, you're always trying to work fast. So having to slow down and do those, the right way was definitely, an adjustment. And I hadn't done a lot of stunt work before. So it was a learning curve for me, but it was really fun. And I want to do a lot more.
That's great. I know people who've worked in stunts and it's no joke. And
Yeah,
but
exactly.
they can get hurt, and it's just overall it's just madness. But I think you guys pulled it off nicely here. And yeah, I
Yeah,
would love
I
to
mean, they're
see.
really fun. But obviously you have to be super safe. You have to make sure you do tons of practices, and kind of bow down to the people who do this for a living and know exactly how to do everything like safely. But
Yeah,
they're really
it's
fun.
yeah, but
Lighting people on fire and throwing people off roofs is always a fun day of work.
yeah, and but I like the fact that it didn't feel like so much of a horror movie. It felt like more of a drama style. I think if Harry Potter was more of a serious film instead of just a usual, I think this would fit into that type of genre. The fantasy drama, as I would probably much call it. That's how I felt how this film is.
Yeah, it turned out, I mean, when you're making a film, you have this vision of what it's going to be, but it always turns into its own creation. And it turned out to be a lot more dramatic, and which I'm very happy for because I was really focusing on the characters and their arcs during this project. I try to, go into every project, and like with different intentions. And for this, I really wanted to really focus on the characters, and I think that that really shines through.
Exactly. How long did shooting take?
I think we shot for maybe like 20 days, so pretty quick.
Yeah, that is pretty quick. But we're talking,
Yeah,
but it is an indie film, so you're always going to have that time frame, and you're going to have to,
yeah,
probably cut out stuff you wish you could put in. Did you have to do any of that, or you just went smoothly?
yeah. No, yeah, we definitely had to cut out a lot of things, but I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, this
At
is
the end of the day, you just want to tell a cohesive story, and
right. You don't want to put too much in and, kind of bore the audience. But I think overall you did a good job on this one,
great.
hands down. So this was only your second feature, right? Because we've had Head Count was your first feature. This is your second. So do you have another one down the road that you're planning now, or are you just gonna let Witch Hunt breeze and just go from there?
I've always got things planned, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've a few scripts that I've been working on over the pandemic. A lot of like monster movies. I'm kind of into that genre right now. On a monster kick. So hopefully one of those
Oh
sees
yeah.
the light of day
I
soon.
I I'd love to see you do a monster movie, hands
Mhm.
down. Again, Head Count was sort of, had a little bit of that. And
Yeah.
now you're doing witches. Yeah, I'd love to see you go back to doing monster, just on a full-on monster movie. We'll see how things go.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
So Witch Hunt will be out on October 1st. And yeah, I think people need they need something fresh. Let's just get away from the norm. And I think this film really fits into that with what you got here, modern day witch hunt. That's exactly what
Yeah.
it is. It's exactly what it describes.
Very
That's
little.
what the title says it. So Elle, thank you so much again for taking time to talk about it. And yeah, I hope everyone gets to see this, and let's hope we see more of you soon and more of your work.
Yeah. Can't wait to talk on my next one.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. This is already a twofer, so
Yeah.
let's go for a trilogy here. Anyway, you take care, and I hope you stay safe.
You too.
All right, bye.
Bye.